So I heard Whiteboard Finance is done with real estate. That really pisses me off. So I'm heading over. I know he's here somewhere.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. Today, I'm going to be talking about Meet Kevin. This guy right here, man, he's always on YouTube. I see his notifications all day long. Love his work, but I got a bone to pick with him, man. The reason I stopped investing in real estate
Yo,
is
Marko!
Oh my...
Yo, what is this? We need to have a conversation about real estate. Let's go. Get your jacket, let's go.
I'm going to edit this video. We'll be back.
To set the stage, Marko with Whiteboard Finance used to be a licensed real estate agent, and he worked for a commercial real estate developer and also partnered on some of the projects. However, now he doesn't own real estate anymore. This makes me very sad.
Oh, keep going. Right now, you don't own any real estate.
No, we rent right now.
Okay.
Correct.
So, why? Like, why don't you just buy something right now? Like,
So-
look, we're literally in this neighborhood here with, there gotta be, how much are these houses?
These houses are probably 350, 300.
350, and these are what, gorgeous, 2,500 to 3,000 square footers?
Oh, bigger than that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you got the basements
Yeah,
as well out here. Okay.
yeah.
So, what's stopping you from jumping on me? What do you need to buy one of these?
So-
15K?
So, so that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, what's stopping you?
Yeah, you're coming from Cali. We're in the Midwest right now, so everything here is cheap, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
So, I, as well as you, was also have my real estate license. I have access to the MLS still to this day.
Cars and?
Cars, real estate. I worked for a death care company, funerals, everything, dude. Every major
Okay, I
event
thought
in your
that was-
life, I've worked in.
I thought that was like a slang for life insurance.
No,
People say
no.
it's death insurance?
No, eFuneral was it was Airbnb meets Lending Tree for death care. It was crazy. It was
Wow,
a
okay, I'm gonna
startup.
have to take a moment to wrap my head around that. Are you renting out coffins? No, that's terrible. Okay, I'll get off that.
Yeah. So ultimately, like you, I have access to the MLS. Everything right now is at record prices per square foot, at least where I live, and I'm sure it's like that in the rest of the country. So I did a little research, looked at 08 prices up until now. You look at 08, 07, 08, prices were, sky high. After 08 in 2013, I think that's when they were the softest. Houses in Northeast Ohio in 07 were in this area, which is just a decent middle class suburb in Cleveland. We're going for about 105, 106 a square foot. Now everything's on average 115, 120, 125 a square foot.
So you feel like things are pricey? Why buy right
They're
now?
overpriced right now because interest rates are low. Everyone's buying. I just think that bang for the buck is not there, and that's why my wife and I are waiting.
Now, what's stopping you from, market aside? We'll have that conversation.
Okay.
What's stopping you from going out there and at least being ready to strike on a good deal? You have real estate experience.
Yep.
So you're here when 91% of buyers are, down here.
Got it.
So you have this experience. What's stopping you from looking for a good deal on a triplex or even a house? You find a fixer one of these, a moldy one of these, How bad can it
100%.
be? These are what, 2005 builds?
Yep. 100%. You're 100% right. So ultimately, I do have, you weren't in the main house, you're in the studio where I record. In my main house, I have a stack of letters this big to absentee owners of duplexes.
And you're not sending them out.
I'm not. I should have because
Well, because you're like everybody else. So you print up a stack. I was so motivated for like 3 hours. And then you look at it, you're like, I don't want to do all that crap.
So I went to ListSource. I literally have a stack of a list of absentee owners. I was going to send them out, but then I thought to
What'd
myself,
you pay for that?
the list or the actual printing and everything?
No, the list.
Oh, the list itself? Dude, like 30, 40, 50 bucks, whatever their minimum is to print a list.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's cheap. So for your viewers in the future, check out ListSource if you want to find absentee owners.
Okay, do you have a link for that?
Listsource.com.
Okay, all right. / whiteboard.
Yeah. So if they don't know what that is, absentee owners are basically just people that own the home that don't live there. They know that by the different tax mailing address. So basically, I was going to send out these mailers, but I thought to myself, these are in like Class B, maybe arguably Class A suburbs, and these are probably cash cows for these people. And right now the market is hot. Why would they want to sell, or why would they want to give me a deal? So maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot. But
You're jading yourself.
I am. You're 100%.
And you
right.
have MLS access. You have
MLS
more
access,
access and
yep.
more knowledge than anybody else. Yet you're sitting on, what was it, the Capital One savings account?
Yeah.
Oh, you're killing me.
Sorry, I know I'm looking down this whole interview. We're like in an ice patch here, so I'm trying to like save Kevin. So sorry if I'm not making good eye contact here. Yeah, so you're right. So right now we're just sitting on cash. Cash is king. You know, we're very happy. We're cash flowing my wife's school. So at the end of the day, that's the reason why, you know, I'm not buying anything right now. That's not to say that you can't get a good deal. Financing is cheap. You know, if you're working with someone, you know, like Kevin or whoever, your local real estate agent, they're definitely they should be able to show you the math on how much you're saving with interest rates being so low as opposed to them being higher.
So, well, let me ask you this. Is there maybe a level of comfort in your life right now where, you know, you've got a solid income, your wife's working towards becoming an RN, she's gonna have a solid income, you're sitting on a cushion, like your life wouldn't be any better by investing more right now.
Exactly.
So you may as well stay a little comfortable.
And that's ultimately what it comes down to. We have literally zero debt, like literally, like zero debt, cash flowing everything. That's the beauty.
Well, cash
of
flowing
it.
everything. What's cash flowing?
Her school. We're cash flowing our debts. So like school tuition. We're not taking student loans. We're just paying it off.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got it.
we're
Okay,
cash flowing
you're
everything.
cash flow positive.
Sorry,
on
yeah.
your expenses.
Yes,
Okay.
not income. Yes.
Sure.
So basically, it's the comfort, and we have no reason right now.
Because I know dividend stocks ain't going to be a big cash flow.
No, that's not what I'm. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So yeah, she's studying to be a nurse practitioner. She's an RN right now. You know, so there's no reason to move. If, knock on wood, one day we have kids, great. You know, we'll need to upgrade the size of our house, but for us two right now, we're comfortable.
Yeah. I think that's in one sense you're in a very good and happy place.
Correct.
By being comfortable, on one hand, you're not paycheck to paycheck, you're not miserable, you're not
Correct.
stressed out by money. On the other hand, maybe you're not getting that kind of kick in the butt to go invest a little bit.
Exactly, and I think we're kind of, I don't want to use the word spoiled because everything we've done to this point has been intentional. We don't want debt. However, check out the video dropping tonight. I don't know when this is going to be released, but I have a video coming out talking about good debt versus bad debt, which I know you're a big believer of the good debt.
I have good debt.
Yes, Kevin has good debt. I have no bad debt, which is good, but I don't have any good debt either.
You got no
I
debt.
have no debt. So
It's also nice.
yes, so debt, as everyone knows, is just
that
like a tool.
hawk's nest? Do you see that up there?
Dude, there's hawks,
What?
there's eagles, there's a woodpecker. I saw a woodpecker the other day. He had a big
No.
red head like Woody the Woodpecker.
Did you name him Woody?
Yeah, that's too easy. Yeah, we
Distracted
have
Kevin
two
here.
hawks that wake us up every morning.
They wake you.
Yeah, they
what
just-
noise do
they
they
ju-
Is it
it's
that like movie that? That was pretty impressive.
Oh, they're coming right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So, all right. Okay. Good debt, bad. You don't have any debt. I got debt.
Yeah.
All right. Keep going.
Yeah, so basically right where I'm at right now is I may do the foolish thing of dropping, 20%, big down payment on a forever home.
Well, it doesn't matter in some sense because you're just saving up cash right now anyway.
True.
So
True.
I mean, you may as well put 20% down.
True. I don't want the PMI. I don't want any of that stuff. However, I know my money could be utilized, elsewhere at a greater return. However, don't want the PMI. Yeah, exactly. And the debt to income ratio, I don't want it to go crazy either. So 20% down, we'll be happy, and you'll start to see new whiteboard videos from a nicer basement, I guess.
Why? Here's another thing that's kind of tripping me up a little bit. You're saying that you want to go from where you are now, which is renting, to your forever home.
Correct.
Why?
So
It's like the opposite of what I teach.
It's a crazy dynamic of, I understand that there's the philosophy out there of, renting, houses are liabilities, not assets, the ones that you own,
That's
not.
a stupid philosophy.
Yeah, and I know you're against that, but that's what the Grant Cardones of the world. Am I allowed to say that his name on the channel?
You can say Grant Cardone all you want because he also owns where he lives.
Okay, got it. Okay.
He rents from his LLC.
Okay. So basically, I'm from Northeast Ohio. My deep roots here. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
If you want to rent, if you know you're going to be mobile, if you want to be mobile for work, if you want to, not have to have all the maintenance issues and be, the person that takes care of every single little thing. Owning a property is a big deal. I understand that. However, I know I'm not going anywhere. So I know that this is going to be my home probably till the day that I die. My wife's from here, her family's from here, my family's from here. We have deep cultural roots with our church and our family and all that stuff. So we want to own property because ultimately it's kind of like a pride in ownership kind of a thing. And it's also almost like a forced savings plan, right? So at the end of the day, whatever happens to us, whether we have Social Security or pension or whatever, you know, we still own our home and we can always sell that for a nice fat paycheck 20, 30, 40 years later. So mathematically, may not make sense, but there is a sense of pride that, you know, we do want to own our home.
Here's the other direction that a lot of people go. They say, okay, yeah, we've made the decision, we want to buy. Whether it's with 5% down, 10% down, 20% down, doesn't matter. We'll put that aside right now.
Got it.
What a lot of people are doing is they'll say, okay, that house right there, let's say that house is 1,600 square feet, and the one to the right of it is 2,400 square feet, and the one to the right of that is 3,000 square feet. Just as an example, there's a sort of theory now that if each of these would cash flow with 20% down, which pretty much everything here cash flows in Ohio, I've realized, why not buy that place with 20% down now? Then keep it rental grade. In a year's time, move into that place with 20% down. A year later, move into that one. A year later, move again. And move into your forever home when you have, like, you know, a few kids or they're a little older, to where now you have the flexibility of moving. You keep those deals as rentals. Now, instead of one nest egg when you're retired, you've got 4 or 5.
100%. And you're 100% right. Obviously, the thing is, we're in a class, you know, A suburb. That's excellent school systems, no crime, no nothing, you know.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, the thing is,
looks beautiful.
Yeah, the thing is, you're 100% right. The thing is, happy wife, happy life, right? My wife doesn't want to go from a, let's call it 1,000 square foot house to a 1,500 to a 2,000 to a whatever. We want to get it done right off the bat, and that way we have, you know, 30-year mortgage on a reasonable property. And the thing is, it's lifestyle inflation. You know, if we do have all these cash flowing properties that are going to pay for our, you know, forever home mortgage or whatever you want to call it. So mathematically, you know, it may make sense if you have a bunch of cash flowing properties. However, it's human nature to want to get bigger and better and nicer. You know, you find.
Well, I mean, we're in a 10x society right now.
100%.
And look, I'm not trying to use that word to like promote grant or demote grant. It just, that is our society right now. So our society says, well, if you're in that 17, you need to get to the 22 and you need to get to the 3,000.
That's right.
And that's first of all not good for, I think, individuals, because you're constantly having this stress of comparing yourself to others.
Comparing yourself to others.
Which is
Keeping up with
toxic.
the Joneses, 100%.
And honestly, oh, sorry, I thought there was an issue.
No
you are actually very insulated from that by having this wealth cushion or cash cushion, let's call it, and no debt, because you don't, who cares? If somebody else has a bigger number in the bank account, you don't care, you know, who cares? Oh, they have 20 rentals, well, they got 21, you know, like, it doesn't freaking matter.
At the end of the day, man, it's just,
am I getting that right?
It's human nature.
Is that what you want? Like that peacefulness, rather?
I want
that stress-freeness.
I want stress-free peace of mind.
Okay.
There's a joke that I can tell, it's too long, it's not going to be funny, but the point of the joke is there's a gentleman fishing and a gentleman.
So it's a story.
It's more of a story than a joke. It is. There's a gentleman fishing, enjoying himself. The guy comes up, other guy comes up to him. I'm not going to tell the whole joke. I just want to get to the crux of it. The other guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, why don't you get a net? You can catch bigger fish. You can sell them. Work your way all the way up to a big fishery. You own this big fishery. It's making millions of dollars a year." And the guy that's originally fishing asks him, "Well, why would I want to do all that?" He's like, "Well, then you can become a millionaire and retire and do whatever you want." And the guy that's originally fishing says, "Well, I'm doing that right now." So
I'm doing what I want.
Yeah,
I'm doing what
yeah, exactly. So without going through all the headache and the.
I mean, honestly, though, if you think about it,
measuring contest.
Okay, that is, you know, these lines. I'm going to start taking notes on these.
Eggplant emoji measuring
Whoa.
contest.
Okay. But honestly, how true? You know, we look right now and you know, if there are so many people in our society who are in this position of, okay, well, they've built wealth, they've built enough to where they could retire today, but they don't. And a lot of people who aren't in that position, they're like, I can't wait to be in that position where I have, you know, my $5 million net worth so I can retire. I want to get to that at 40 so I can retire, be financially independent, retired early, whatever, and then just live off my distributions. Except what happens is, I think I would say probably 95% of people, is you get to that 5 mil, it's like, all right, now I gotta get to 10, baby! You know, and it's like you're always on this hamster wheel.
And I think the goal shouldn't be to retire just for the sake of retiring. I think if you love what you're doing, you know, work till you die. I mean, that's great, that's healthy if you want to do that.
Sure.
However, I think young people, they're enamored by the allure of, you know, passive income and this and that, where you don't have to lift a finger and then you're a millionaire, right? So I think that every person should have a purpose. They should have a reason for why they get up in the morning.
Hello.
Otherwise, how you doing? And that's the other thing. In the Midwest, everyone's friendly. They need to have a purpose in life and something that drives them. Otherwise, you know, they can just be molded into pretty much anything or not have any drive. That's just my personal belief. And working with someone like you or filming with you, this guy's like, Kevin is 100 miles an hour. I'm sitting there like, do I need coffee? Do I need like, I'm trying to keep up. So yeah, it's good to be passionate about something is what I'm trying to say.
Thanks for that. This is, by the way, really cool. Like, you know, they used to cover Christmas trees in asbestos to make them look like they had snow back in the day. Yeah, that was one of the purposes for asbestos. They also used to put asbestos in toothpaste, except this toothpaste or this asbestos you could, you know, get in your face, you can breathe it, you can, like this is cool. Like I don't have this, you know?
Do you want to taste some yellow snow?
No. That's why I went for the tree snow. Okay? I'm like, the odds are the tree snow is cleaner, except we'll probably get some comments talking about birds or whatever. Okay, well, honestly, I mean, that's really insightful because, you know, I think that's what many of us feel. It's like, well, I just, you know, it doesn't matter what the number is. I just want to get to that point where I have that choice to be able to do what I want. It doesn't. This whole relativity thing doesn't matter. Yet, on one hand, we say that, and on the other hand, most of us, you know, got to get the new car, got to get the bigger house, got to get the newest phone, you know, the newest clothing. Yeah. Tough, man, tough. Yep.
So, wow. Yeah, I think I just listened to a keynote with Ramit Sethi, the I Will Teach You to Be a Rich guy. You don't like him?
Well, his whole mostly because of his real estate chapter. The rest of the stuff was okay. His real estate chapter was garbage.
So his key...
I tweet him.
The crux of his keynote was like, you know, he was making fun of people that say like, well, if you invest this over the course of 87 years compounded at 3%, you know, like he was, you know, everyone's typical line, but he's kind of right. His point was that, you know, you should actually, you know, spend abundantly on things that bring you massive joy. You know, not everything, but yeah.
That's a good line, because that's the other thing is, I think people get caught up in this I need passive income, but I have no wealth approach. And so then the idea becomes, okay, well, if I want passive income and I don't have wealth, well, then I'll just cut out all the joys of my life and basically be a super cheapskate.
Exactly.
Like bottom line
exactly.
Here, okay? And that's a tough way to live too.
It is.
Because then you're stressed on the other side of the perspective.
Yep. And I completely agree. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to live life. You have to be, you know, a warm human being. You know, go buy a round of drinks. Go do something. You know, have some friends. Like, you don't want to be known as the guy that like.
I mean, I'm pretty cold right now.
Yeah, I'm freezing. I'm freezing my butt off, dude.
Here, you need a jacket.
Maybe if I buy you a round of drinks, we'll warm up. But,
that's true.
Yeah, so just be the person that people want to hang out with. At the end of the day, you only live once. I know that's kind of cliche. I don't want to say YOLO, you know, but, you know, YOLO within reason, I guess.
Thank you, man. That's awesome. All right, confrontation over. It's been solved.